Are you kidding me?
I looked at my analytics
You made
for last
a presentation?
year. Not a presentation, but like.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
Let's just jump right back into it. We got Bob Fox on for our Inside Barstool episode, but we were talking about Gerard Butler in the movie Plane.
Yeah. Well, Bob and I are going tonight. Opening night.
Mandate?
What? Con's coming too.
Oh,
Yeah.
little thruple.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, the theater's so jammed that we can't even sit together, bro.
Isn't that crazy?
So you guys are going to go together and then spread out?
Well, I mean, it's like there are two seats, and then there's an aisle, and then there's one seat.
Let's talk about some gay stuff. Let's go to the movies with your buddies.
Dude,
the fellas?
Bro.
Going to Gerard Butler movie?
Gerard Butler.
That
dude,
is fellas. That's a moment for the boys.
Gerard Butler got emailed, and this is why I'm so right about everything I fucking say all the time. It is.
I can't wait for what this is going to be.
After Olympus Has Fallen,
Uh-huh.
a movie that I talk about, I wax poetic about. It's an unbelievable franchise.
Yep.
I hope it gets into the Fast lore, where I hope they do 10 of them.
Yep.
Because they're all unbelievable.
I think they're on the way.
The space station has fallen.
Yeah,
For sure. That's
I mean,
coming.
the new one is Night Has Fallen. Not out. I don't think they've started filming yet, but that will be the 4th installment.
If you go to 4, you go to 9, I think.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
You
I
cross
genuinely
that
do.
threshold.
Yeah,
and
then
keep
you just
going.
keep going.
Yeah.
The after Olympus Has Fallen, which was the first one, not my favorite one. London Has Fallen is my favorite, but Robert Downey Jr. emailed Gerard Butler and was like, "You gotta do more. Like, we need more movies like this. This is what
Hell yeah.
Hollywood." He's like, when I went to movies as a kid, like this is what I saw.
Fuck yeah.
We need more shit like this.
Because he
and people always think I'm kidding when I say these movies are awesome.
Gerard
no,
Butler
these movies are
got
awesome.
Gerard Butler got the your movie's bomb tag. For a while, he was known as like the big budget guy whose movies suck.
But no, but maybe
And
they're
now
not
I
well
think
liked,
he's-
but they're not. They don't bomb. They make
No, not. I think those do. I think he would do like rom-coms and
Oh,
shit
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And those always bombed. It would be like him.
But the Ugly Truth, unbelievable.
him being the leading
Catherine
man.
Heigl, a classic.
I was gonna.
I don't
I
know,
was
unbelievable.
just about to say. I think there's a movie with Katherine Heigl that like got like $0. Like, it's
I
like-
know. I
think
guarantee
they
you that
hate
made
that
my
movie.
There is a Katherine Heigl movie. I don't think it's that one though. Katherine Heigl, I think, has the least like grossing movie of all time.
She is one of the least likable, successful people of all time.
Yeah, well, is she successful anymore?
I-
She was for
I
quite
don't-
a time.
buddy. The fucking Ugly Truth raked in cash, dude.
Oh, did it?
Budget $38 million. Box office $205, dude. Gerard Butler just makes money, dude.
Oh, and he's doing his Scottish accent in this one.
Yeah, I
so
love
it's,
that.
We're getting
Why not?
legit. We're getting the real Gerard. in this
Wait.
one.
Why? Oh, wait. Is that he?
Yeah, usually he does an American.
Yeah, no, he's
he has a
Scottish.
Scottish accent.
And he's
Okay.
going raw dog
Fuck
in this
it.
movie.
Yeah, I thought it.
He did it in Greenland too. He's like, I'm done. I'm gonna
done.
be Scottish now.
I do love a good Has Fallen movie. Those are fucking awesome.
The genre of
Best.
movies, and you've said it constantly, and I agree with you, of don't make me go back to the old me. That is one of the
Yes.
greatest
Yeah,
genres of all
right.
time.
I mean, there's a reason why. There's a reason why there's a million of them.
Right.
Because everybody
The
fucking
John
loves
Wicks,
those.
the Equalizer. That's my favorite one. The
Equalizer
Oh
is-
They're
my
filming
God.
3 right now, I
Because
believe.
three Equalizer.
Equalizer
Yeah.
is also it's the pinnacle of Denzel.
Yes.
And it's the pinnacle of that genre with the pinnacle of the guy who does that genre.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a double.
They're like, what if we took Man on Fire and you kill way more people?
Exactly that.
One of my
Yeah,
favorite
yeah.
movies.
Yep.
In a
that's,
Home
that's
Depot,
really
too.
it. Yeah.
I don't even like the best part of Equalizer doesn't even make sense. I don't understand the watch part. Doesn't make sense to me. Why does he
Oh,
need
when
to do that?
he's got like superpowers, but only for like one scene a movie.
He'll like shuts the door, locks, starts his watch, and then kills a bunch of people.
He's like,
and then
I've,
stops his watch.
you know,
I don't know why he does
just
that.
keeping
He
track.
wants to see how long it takes to kill a
Yeah, I
bunch
mean,
of people.
it's you got to challenge yourself.
High scores, yeah.
It's like I know I'm gonna kill all you guys. I'm gonna try to do it in under a minute.
That scene in the first one's so good when he takes the wine cork,
Yeah.
the screw, puts it up through the guy's mouth, and the guy opens his mouth. You can
You
see
can
it
see
in
it.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
good
good
stuff.
so fucking good. Yeah, there's I know that people, and you can talk about this because you know it's stuff that you cover on My Mom's Basement, but the talk of like cinema is dead and all that kind of shit, and it's like I don't know, man.
Dude,
I feel like there's
I
there's just
I
as
go to
many like good movies as there are fun movies as there are action movies.
When you say cinema, do you mean cinemas or like cinema? Which
Well,
I
no,
can't even define personally.
I know, when people are like, all it is
Marvel
movies,
and
remakes,
franchises.
and and it's like, there is a lot of that, but I don't know. They're
You
fucking.
just got to
It
dig
is-
deeper for the Banshees of
Yeah.
Inisherin or whatever
Right.
you want
Yeah.
to see, which
Right.
you don't even really have to dig deep for. Like,
I was gonna say, like, don't like
Yeah.
that's a perfect example. Like, that's getting a lot of love, and people watched it, and like every year there's the Oscar movies that are like Shape of Water and all that weird shit.
Yeah.
We've
to
talked about it
me-
before, where it's like, it was an article I read in the Atlantic where it's basically the moneyballification of American culture, which is like, you can't fault people for it. It's just they started doing the smart thing.
Yeah.
they did the things they know work. Like,
Right.
like how can you fault someone for?
I think there was probably an era where producers, fucking chefs, clothing creators, like everybody did like what they liked.
Yeah.
And didn't have all the information and all of the feedback.
Right.
And then
Can't look at
people-
analytics.
and
It
then
was like a
yeah.
suit could be like, you could sway a suit in a meeting where you could be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know what, dude, like that
This would
kind of
be good.
sounds fucking cool. My
Right.
kid might like that.
Right.
Whereas now it's
And
like,
now-
what do the numbers say?
Right, and
Which
so
is,
you can't
it's the
fault
smart
people, but it also is it was probably a cooler world where they told you what to do and what was cool as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah.
Because we suck.
Right.
As a
Totally.
collective, people will just all start to act the same, dress the same, speak the same, watch the same, So I think it's cool that like
But
an extra
even-
creative person or an extra smart person is the one that says like, no, why don't we wear it this way, or why don't we make the movie like this? But now it's just like, well, we got because we got to make money, so we're gonna do it this way. So I do understand all that, but it's also like I'm also a regular dude. So all of those things are going to apply to me. So I like those. It's probably a very hard time to be like a hipster.
And like the next Quentin Tarantino, like for
Yeah.
that person to
Right.
come up,
Right.
is probably tough.
Yeah.
And if
but
you, and
even
if you are a-
Banshee's, what you're
if
talking
If
about.
you're a fan of that type shit,
Yeah.
you're probably like, yeah, there's really nothing for me. Like,
Yeah.
But if you're
Or at
regular,
least not like you can't go to the theater because they got fucking Avatar on 7 screens. Or
Right,
whatever.
right,
But
right,
it's
right.
like, all right, that's like one consequence. Go down to the art house theater down the
right,
block.
there's
and,
other
like-
shit for you. Go to Broadway. Go to whatever.
Exactly,
Yeah.
But Banshees, what you're talking about, Banshees is essentially a sequel.
To
in
in
Bruges,
Bruges, yeah.
Right, so like it's that was like we're talking about like proof of concept. Like they're like, okay, we know it works, we know everyone
Right.
loves it.
Martin
So it's
McDonagh,
Martin McDonough, it's
yeah.
Colin Farrell,
Yeah.
it's Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah.
Like it's not a sequel by any
But it
stretch,
is.
but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
It's
like
a spiritual.
Martin
sequel,
McDonough
yeah.
wrote it for them.
It's a
'cause he
sequel
knew
in the
there.
sense of like movie execs are going to go, okay.
Yeah,
green
right.
light.
But we know
Yeah,
this
green
works.
light,
We
yeah.
know people love this.
Well, I
but
think
also, I think theaters. It's kind of like people are saying. It's one of those things where people are hoping it to be a self-fulfilling prophecy, where people who don't go to the theaters say theaters are dead, say movies are dead, blah blah blah. But like, dude, I went to Megan this weekend. I don't know if I've ever had more fun in the theater.
Really,
Bro,
everyone's saying that.
Bro, it was jam packed.
People are like yelling at the screen and laughing and
dude,
shit. Yeah.
Dude, Plane got an ovation. The
Yeah.
trailer for Plane. Everyone's like, let's go! Someone's clapping. Fucking Nicole Kidman's AMC commercial got a standing ovation. This is before
Yeah,
the movie
people
started.
go like with a mindset.
Like if
of,
you
like,
go
we're
and you're
gonna
like,
fuck
let's
around.
like Megan's like one of my favorite movies, not of all time, obviously, but like it's my favorite movie I saw this year.
Experience, yeah.
It was so much fun. Like everyone's
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah, like like if you've seen the trailer where she's like dancing and it's like
Yeah,
she's got like
killing people and
the
shit.
sword,
Yeah.
and someone's like, oh, here she comes.
I hope it's like that tonight.
Yeah,
That would
dude,
be-
I would think it will. I mean, again, like I bought the tickets last night, and it's not sold out, but like, and it's also like it's not in a massive theater, but like it's. I would guess tonight is sold out, and I would guess it's the Die
People are
Hard.
gonna
It's-
be
it's-
like-
Oh, yeah.
it's the Butler crew
cutting loose.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, there's nothing better when the movie theater we always used to go to. It was in New Rochelle, and there was always a lot of black people in the theater, and they are just the fucking best to watch
best.
movies with. It's like having it's like a second screen. It's like it's like an electric chair type thing. It's like I'm just watching you guys watch it. The commentary, the jokes. I will never forget seeing The Others. I went through a phase when like and so did Hollywood, like The Ring and The Others and all those movies were coming out, and I went to see all of them. And there was a scene where it got particularly scary, and this guy got up and said, "Fuck, nope," and just left. Left his friends, whoever he was with, he was just gone. And I mean, it was like when you have a crowd that is into it, it's like
You can make the movie.
absolutely like that movie might suck, but it's gonna be the best experience you ever had.
I think I would have liked Megan either way, but like if I would have been sitting in an empty theater, I'd been like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like, that's the same thing you do because like
It's
I
like
don't
anything
know
else.
if it's the pressure of like society or if it's and that sounds deeper than I'm actually gonna make it seem. But like If I'm home, I'll like be on my phone and I won't pay attention.
Yeah.
But in a theater, I won't touch my phone.
Right.
Just out of respect for the people around me and shit like
Right.
that. So I'm
And
actually
you
watching.
focus
and I'm
on
like,
it.
oh wait, this is better
and
than
that's
I thought.
that sort of shit, laughter or shock or whatever, is contagious. So you have
Totally.
people
I was
around
gonna
you
say,
and,
like, you go to have a good time. You see other people having a good time. You just naturally like.
unless
oh,
you're
we're
like
having a good time.
unless
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
a real asshole.
Totally. And
like,
yeah,
you
you're
know.
like, oh my god, the cinematography and
Right.
Megan.
Then and there's
Like,
plenty of those
shut the
fucking
fuck up.
dicks
Yeah.
out there. You know. I'm gonna go to Avatar and do that. I'm gonna watch Avatar and
yeah,
be
I
in
went-
the theater going, this movie
I finally
sucks.
gave in, and I honestly thought, like, I talked so much shit about James Cameron, but I was like, I'm gonna go and fucking love Avatar. I know me, I'm
Yeah.
gonna love it. I didn't. I was so like,
Yeah.
it was 3 hours and 10 minutes. It felt like it was 5 hours and 20 minutes.
There's no way that movie is.
It was the first one. It was the first one.
Right. I was gonna say
Literally
it's
the same
just
bad
the
guy.
first.
I've never
fucking
seen the
movie.
first one.
They
Yeah.
brought the bad guy, but they were like, the guy we killed in the end of the first one, he's actually the bad guy for this one as well.
That's so lame.
I didn't even know that they killed
and-
people in
and
Avatar.
is
I
it
thought it was
making-
like,
oh,
a,
yeah.
like a utopia. Oh no, right?
no,
Because
no.
soldiers are
Human
going
versus-
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
So lame. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck James Cameron.
Fuck James Cameron.
He could get it anytime, any place, anywhere, on site. On site. He walks into the office.
Well, I
throwing
did. I
hands.
loved. I don't know anything about James Cameron, but like I loved in his Avatar press tour. I loved everything he was saying.
I hated it. It
Oh,
triggered
what was
me,
he
and
saying?
I was
Dude.
like, I understand. I'm getting triggered.
What was he saying?
Like even they were like, when's a good time to go to the bathroom? It's a 3-hour movie. He goes, go in the bathroom whenever you want. You're gonna see it twice.
He said that. He said like, they said like,
But like,
oh,
no,
like,
I'm not, dude, because it's fucking 3 hours and
No,
10 minutes, and
oh
it's
my-
not that
I'll-
good. It's
I'll
probably the
never
least
watch it again.
rewatchable movie ever.
I will never ever
Yeah.
watch it again, especially not being able to see it
in
like,
IMAX or whatever.
watching it on this screen.
Yeah, like who gives a
It's
fuck?
the same movie.
I don't give a shit about the sights and stuff on a movie. I'm
You
like,
know
that
what,
doesn't.
too? And maybe I'm jaded to it. At this point, like Avatar 2, and I'm sure the CGI people saw a big advancement. I didn't look at that and go like, this is unlike
Bro,
anything I've ever
I've been
seen.
saying it since 1993. We haven't changed.
Yeah,
Jurassic
Jurassic
Park, we
Park.
peaked out.
Yeah.
That's it. It hasn't gotten any better.
Like it
Oh, I
looked
wasn't gonna
great,
say. I
but-
wasn't gonna say for that. I was gonna say for like HD and all that. In the like, honestly, if you could be inside my head, every TV I've ever watched in my entire life was in
Same.
the same picture.
Yeah.
You go throw me side by side. Yeah, it's completely different.
I
but
remember.
I've-
I'm old enough to remember being like HD. Like there's no difference.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
There's no difference
I
in
remember when channels were in both, and maybe
Yes.
they are still in both.
No, now
And
it's like automatically it like flips. You can try to put it on, but it sends you to the HD.
my friends would be like, "Dude, put on the HD." It's like HD was in the 800s, and like I knew ESPN was 32 or whatever
Yep,
it was.
yep.
And I'd be like, I just hit 32. They would, dude, put on HD. I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter,
Bro,
I don't
trying to
care.
watch sports now in SD is wild. It's like Nintendo.
But everything
blocks
I ever
around.
saw was crystal clear.
1000%.
Same thing
You'd
with
never
video
think of it.
games too.
Yeah.
like the the PS5 and the Xbox One, I didn't get because every other system felt like, oh, here's a jump up. Now it is a jump up, like we're saying, but
Yep.
like it's so good on the last one
Already,
that, like
yeah. I mean,
it's not that
until
much of a jump.
I think until they make some sort of like holographic 3D
Totally.
jump, you know, there needs to be like a.
like when you went to the
And even they
N64,
tried
it was
that.
Like, holy fuck!
Well, that's what I mean. Like they haven't perfected that. They have 3D goggles and shit like
Yeah.
that. The day that you can do some Obi-Wan Star Wars shit where you just it just like appears in front of you, then maybe we can talk. But until then, if you're watching on a screen,
I got the
we've
Oculus
maxed
and,
out.
Yeah, I couldn't. It made me motion sickness.
yeah, the
like,
4DX things.
Yeah.
I don't
4DX
need, I don't need you to
sucked.
spit on me while
Me and
we're
Clem went
fucking-
to go see Endgame for the 4th time when we saw it. We saw it in 4DX, and it was one of the worst experiences. I've
It's
ever had.
annoying. You're shaking and moving. It's
Literally,
like-
it shakes you the whole time. So and there's no seatbelt either. So it kind of like shakes you on an angle. And
Oh,
you're
that's
holding,
crazy.
You're holding on the whole time. So you're like, let me make sure I'm still sitting here. And then like Captain America will get hit, and it just punches you in the back.
Yeah, no.
Wait, I don't want this.
Yeah,
No.
it's like I don't want to go to war. I want to
No,
watch the war.
exactly.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be involved in it. Yeah, no, that shit is for the
It doesn't
birds.
make you feel like you're in the movie either. Like if it's raining, it'll just like hit you with a spray of water and then shake your chair.
like that's not how life
I'm not in the
works.
movie right now.
Dude, that's how you get a shot in Mardi Gras or down in New Orleans where they smack.
Yeah,
Smack-
dude.
exactly. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those more recently on social media. I could not hate something more than that.
I agree. I
Those
think I get
girls
knocked
who
out.
fucking like they unload on you, and then they like rub their fat tits in your face. Like, no,
I think I would
you.
get knocked out with a smack, like Smack
Imagine
League,
that.
like
Bob's
the
just
new thing they got. Like, they hit me.
slumped over.
You've got New Year's goals, and HelloFresh is here to help you achieve them. Skip the grocery store and take control of your time and budget with delicious recipes delivered right to your door. Fast and fresh recipes. HelloFresh's latest lines of meals include robust flavors and filling portions, and they're ready in less than 15 minutes. Enjoy taste and quality done quick with recipes like falafel power bowls, or seared steak and potatoes with béarnaise sauce, or Southwest pork and bean burritos. With HelloFresh, eating well in the new year can be stress-free and delicious. With over 35 weekly recipes, they have options you're looking for and to help you achieve your goals. Choose Calorie Smart or Carb Smart, or even customize select meals by swapping proteins or sides, or upgrading your proteins, or adding a protein to a veggie dish. Feidelberg has been surviving off of these for like the last 10 years. I mean, my man makes meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner because of HelloFresh. If you're a Feidelberg fan, you should say thank you to them. Go to HelloFresh.com/KFC21 and use code KFC21, and they're now doing 21 free meals. They upped it again. They went from 12 to 14 to 16 to 18 to 20, and now they're doing 21. When you go to HelloFresh.com/KFC21 and use code KFC21 for 21 free meals plus free shipping.
Did I do inside the behind the blog? We did behind the
We
blog.
did behind the blog
at your apartment, right?
Yeah, a while ago.
I was gonna say that was probably like 3 years ago now.
Has to be. It was
right?
during the pandemic. Yeah,
Right.
me and Trent still living together.
Yeah.
Couch crew.
The whole Milk Boys.
The whole
Milk Boys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whole Milk Gang.
I feel like at that point, I remember you were pretty open about like how anxious you were all the time, and I feel like now you're in a good place.
I've been in a good place.
Yeah, I feel like after that it got worse for a little while,
Yep.
and now I think you're in a good place though, right?
Yeah, I've been doing great.
And is
yeah,
that
past
is
couple
that
years.
because of like you think like work's going is like when you go through those, is that inside or outside effects like makes it happen?
That's a good question. Like, I think it's a little bit of both. Like sometimes I can't control it where like the stupidest shit will set you off, and then it starts to
Spirals.
snowball and everything. The spiral, exactly, of like, oh my god, I'm gonna be nervous, and you're getting nervous about being nervous.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like
and you realize it's not even the thing anymore.
exactly
It's-
like I'm just in the
and then
the
I get
cycle.
mad at myself where I'm like,
Totally.
I could have been totally fine if I didn't do this myself.
If I didn't just put that first thought in. But
Yeah.
the past couple of years, I've been really good.
Yeah.
I did that the other night. I don't even remember what it was about. I did it so bad my left arm got numb. I wasn't even doing anything.
Really?
My whole left arm got numb, and I was
You
like,
might have like a nerve issue there.
you might just be fat, bro.
Yeah, I had sneezed and set it off. No, that does happen though. It was like I was high, and then and I usually don't get paranoid high, but that's what it was. I was wondering, am I gonna get paranoid
high.
And I actually had taken mushrooms and smoked, and
That'll do it.
I was like, oh boy, and then I was like, wait, my left hand's going numb, which probably was.
It probably wasn't.
Probably-
But you probably made it
No,
go
it was
numb.
probably like my hand was on my chest watching TV, and the blood drained out. of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what's happening? What's happening?
Are you a
So
mushroom
then I
guy?
just took a bunch of
No,
melatonin and
never.
went to bed.
Never?
I would like. I'm down to try.
Yeah,
But
I feel
never
like that
tried
would.
mushrooms.
I feel like that would fit your
Yeah,
aesthetic.
I think so.
Yeah.
I do mushrooms like every night now.
Really?
Yeah, but just like a little bite of a chocolate
Little
bar,
microdose,
like
as they say.
nothing crazy, but enough to feel it, enough to be laying down and I start rubbing my feet together.
That's
How
what you
different
know,
is
right?
the feeling from weed?
Huh?
How different is the feeling from weed?
Very different. I don't really feel much
Okay.
from weed. I just get like tired and hungry. I get
hardo.
so
Okay.
hungry,
Bro,
dude.
the munchies are the main
Hardos.
reason I
don't eat all
get-
day because I know how much I'm gonna eat at night. When
I
go
get
home.
like super high. I'm so stereotypical. I'm giggly. I'm tired, and then the munchies are unstoppable. I can have a full fucking belly and be like, if I have one more bite, I'd puke, and then I get high, and it's just like, I can't that's the reason why I can't like rely on weed every night because I will be I
I
already
basically,
bad.
you know what I do? It's crazy. It's crazy what I do. I start smoking and like I usually have like little fucking like pre-roll, like the smaller ones, and I'll smoke like as I'm cooking dinner, and I'll be like, ooh, this is yummy, and then I'll like start a movie and I'll smoke again then, and then I'll keep eating straight for 2 hours. until I decide I got to put a plug in it. And at that point, I take melatonin and pass out.
That's a hell of a diet right there.
So the only way you stop is by knocking your body out.
Dude, in the olden days, I'd have to keep a hammer by the bed. Like, I'll just stay up all night and eat. Bro, I also think I'm getting addicted to melatonin.
Yeah, that happens.
yeah.
Bro, the
not-
tolerance will go through the roof.
Not
actually.
even addicted, like, to sleep. Like, this is the first time I've ever felt like addict feelings about anything. Like, I've
You're just,
never.
like, thinking about it. You want it.
Bro, like, I'll be brushing my teeth in the morning, and I'll see the melatonin sitting there. And I'll just be staring at it. And I'm like,
bad girl.
I'm like, dude, if you take that pill, you go, like, nothing will bother you.
Yeah.
Nothing will annoy you. You'll have to do nothing.
Melatonin,
It's like-
really?
Yo,
Bro, it is like- it's like-
that's pretty extreme.
It's like
but
a free trial of
the-
suicide.
The
Like, you just go unconscious, and then
There-
you take a pill and you go unconscious. It's amazing.
there's a moment right before you pass out where you're fighting it a little bit, and it's just like great.
I've taken it
It's like-
before. I
have you-
can't do it because of the dreams.
Oh,
I get the
yeah,
wild, like,
yeah.
I
crazy
don't get
nightmares.
those.
Melatonin drink
That's
can't
why
fuck
I
you up,
didn't
yeah.
take it for a long time.
It messed
My
me
buddy,
up.
when I was coming home from England, we went like a couple months ago. My buddy, because I hadn't slept the whole way there, and my buddy was like, "Dude, take a melatonin." He's like, "But just so you know, you get really bad nightmares." And I was like, "Just so you know, you don't want to be next to me getting really bad nightmares." So I'm gonna forego that and just.
I think
stay
that
up
happens
late.
if I do like NyQuil, like anything that really like zonks me.
Yeah.
I get a little wacky.
I've been having like a reoccurring nightmare lately that I show up for gym class and I forgot to bring a change of clothes. And I'm like,
classic.
fuck.
Yeah.
Dude,
I don't have a
those
change- like,
things.
I've
I've
had it, like,
never had
multiple
one of
nights
those
this
those
week.
classes.
blow my mind. That like the fact that as a collective society we all have those.
It's crazy.
Is pretty fucking
I
wild.
wake up like every morning now, like, fuck my gym clothes. Mr. Piekler's gonna be mad at me.
I don't have that, but I have like tests and late for class.
Not studying. Like,
Yeah.
you come in and they're like, here's a test.
Which is so that to me that's gotta mean that like when our brains were forming, we were worried about that shit,
and it
and it
just
just
stuck.
sticks.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Just
like
locked in.
Why else?
You couldn't get that out. It's fucked
like
up.
there's nothing else in my life that I go back to as consistently as that.
No, a locker combination. That's one.
Yeah.
You're stuck at the locker and you're like,
Dude, that's
I want one of those. Like, I want one of those shared
I
experiences.
forgot about forgetting your locker.
yeah.
I've never had.
What did
I've
they
never
do
had
when
a
that
shared-
happened?
I have no idea. I was the kid
Just
who
the guy
was
just
like,
came and clipped it.
I don't have time for my locker. I'll put all my books in my backpack, and then I have a bad
You
back.
just ran
and
around.
you wonder
Yeah,
why,
you
and
got like
there you go.
scoliosis from it.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't have scoliosis. I do have rheumatoid arthritis in my back, which is pretty rare for, I think, a 24-year-old to have.
Rheumatoid arthritis. Like, I think my mom has that. Yeah, that is.
I think she does. Most moms do.
Dude, the what do you call it? The spine. No, I'm thinking. What did you say? Spina bifida? Did you say spina bifida?
Spina bifida.
Then you said something about spine, right?
What?
Spina bifida is not a thing.
Spina bifida is a thing.
Spina bifida?
Bro.
Spina bifida.
That's made up.
That
You're
sounds
trying
like
to say
that's-
scoliosis.
That's
You
a
trying to tell
dinosaur
me
from 3.
Spina bifida?
Spina bifida
That's
is
the
a
dinosaur
thing.
from Jurassic Park 3.
I know it's a thing. I'm not an idiot.
Spina bifida?
Yeah, bro.
What is it?
Scoliosis is what I meant. I was talking about the scoliosis test, but spina bifida is for real.
What's a spina bifida?
Spina bifida is a birth defect in which there is an incomplete closing of the spine.
We're not laughing about that.
Yeah, no, spina bifida. I'll tell you what spina bifida is. Spina bifida is one of those things that you test your fetus for, and if it has it, you kill it.
Yo! Hey, yo! My God! Hey,
That's not a joke. I've never
yeah.
done it. I've never tested anything for spina bifida.
It is
I
what it is.
fucking bet you there's a lot of people listening to this who have and went, I'm not ready for that in my life.
It was so innocent minutes ago. We were talking about CGI and Avatar.
Bro,
Yeah.
I think my mom told a story where she was like, I wish you had spina bifida. Like not like not she was like in the moment when they were getting attached, like, I hope it has spina bifida.
Bro, that was intense. You know
That
what's
was a
crazy?
moment.
I'm pretty sure. I heard this on another podcast. I think I'm pretty sure in like Asian culture, they pull the plug on quite a few things. So they don't really have it in their society though.
Yeah.
because it's just like
so we started
don't-
we do it now too.
Yeah, but
Like,
like,
we've talked about like special needs. Dude, when I was a kid, special needs people were everywhere.
dude,
You don't see a lot of special
the
needs
other
people
day,
anymore.
The other day, my mom was like, Are you kidding me? In first grade, I had like 70 kids in my class. There were retards everywhere. I was like, oh my God. But like, I think it's one thing, like Spina Bifida sounds like you're being, like, you're completely misformed,
incapacitated, yeah.
where it's like...
They shouldn't make the word that funny, though. They should not make it that fun to say.
The dinosaur from
Spina
Jurassic
Bifida.
Park 3. The Spina Bifida's got loose. Yeah. Spina Bifida.
That's the new big bad guy.
Yeah.
The scoliosis, anyway.
Yeah,
When they made you grab your ankles and fucking rub their fingers down your back.
Yeah.
That was weird as shit.
Yeah.
Like, feels.
Did you have anybody who wore like a back brace?
No.
Like Sweet D style?
No.
I think Marty Mush did.
Mush is a back brace
I
guy?
think so, because he had scoliosis.
Really?
Yeah.
That
pretty
makes
sure.
sense. The way Marty moves, I can be that dude.
Oh,
has
he's all
scoliosis.
fucking lanky and shit. Yeah.
He moves like a puppet.
Yeah, he does.
Like-
like there's a marionette.
Like someone is controlling Marty. It's not someone. He is the example of like someone like
That's very
in his
funny.
head is someone's moving levers, but they always forget to just think. it's too busy moving levers to have actual thoughts. It's like, all right, move the left hand. Oceans probably have walls.
Oh man, God bless Marty. We'll get him in here too.
I'll never forget Mush coming up to me years ago at this point and saying, guess how many bubbles form when you use a bar of soap in the shower?
Oh my God.
And I was like, what?
what is the number like a billion?
He goes 73. And I said, no, what? No, you're wrong about that because I've been in the shower
Incorrect.
before. It's more than 73.
Yeah.
He goes, no, I looked it up. And I said, show me the article where you found it. It was literally like an ask.com, and the first response said, I don't know, maybe 73. I read it. It's data.
Somebody said it somewhere.
I don't know, maybe 70.
And that was the exact number, too. It was years ago, and I still remember it because I was just like,
73.
there was no cameras, no nothing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Mush, there's not 73 bubbles when you use a bar of soap in the shower.
As if anybody could determine that, by
Yeah.
the way.
Exactly.
As if there's
Someone
any
sat
way
there
to 1, 2,
before
3,
they
4, 5,
popped
6,
and
7,
they
8.
were 73.
I don't know, man.
New
73.
record.
This show is sponsored by Betterhelp. When you're at your best, you can do great things, but sometimes life gets you bogged down, and you may feel overwhelmed or like you're not showing up in the way that you want to. Working with a therapist can help you get closer to the best version of you, because when you feel empowered, you're more prepared to take on everything that life throws at you. I know when I'm talking to somebody and I get it all out, simply just venting sometimes can make you the better version of you, let alone working with someone to actually approach your problems and tackle them. When you take care of all of that nonsense, it helps you take care of the stuff you really care about, like achieving all your goals. So if you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option because it's convenient, flexible, affordable, and entirely online. You just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. You can do text messages, you can do phone calls, you can do video calls, any sort of online therapy connection, they've got it. So if you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/KFC today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/KFC for 10% off your first month today.
What do you think of the job these days? What's your outlook on Barstool?
It's like an interesting time, especially for the non-gambling people,
Yeah,
obviously.
big time.
Like, I feel like you guys, I listened to some of your Son of a Boy Dad episode, like, I want The Office to be back to, hey, I want to hang around because, like, something might happen today.
Yeah.
And, like, The Office hasn't been that for years.
No.
So it's like, I enjoy it mostly to myself, which is, like, it has its pros and cons, of course. But, like, I have no, like, I'm not, like, a pissed off guy right now. I'm not a disgruntled worker.
Yeah. I
do think that The Office going back to what it once was is probably a pipe dream.
I think it is.
It's never like
Because it was
original
out of fear,
like,
a lot of it. You know?
But so I think like you can't ever recapture like Milton days. You can't ever recapture the first Office. You can't even you can't recapture anything. It's like
Because also just to make it, if we're talking about like back when like everyone was hanging out and like all that shit, like in order to do that, you have to start an initiative, and that inherently makes it lame and it turns people off to it. So like, it will never. It's
It needs
done.
to be out of fear again.
I remember one time, and I was in maybe sophomore year of high school. The day before the Super Bowl, I think we were at my buddy's house. There was a bunch of us. It was one of those times where like everybody, like 10 guys, were all at somebody's house, and we were in his basement, and he had a ton of toilet paper in his basement, and we had somehow a fight broke out, and we were playing dodgeball basically with rolls of toilet paper, and it was like the most fun all of us had ever had.
Did you call us gay for going to see a Gerard Butler movie?
And
Me
then
and the boys, we joined a sorority.
I mean, it was like we're throwing like footballs, like smash. It was unbelievable.
Make me a mummy.
And
Don't get it wet. Don't get it wet. That's so gross. That's so gross when it's wet.
And the next year, we tried to like do it again. Like,
Yeah.
day before the Super Bowl, like, let's do it again. And it was like, what are we doing? We stopped like immediately. Like, this fucking sucks.
We have to pick all this up, you know.
You can't. Yeah. You can't recreate those. Same thing with we for Hoboken St. Patrick's Day, we got up at 6 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
And my buddy's
All day
making
drinking.
bacon, egg, and cheeses for everybody. Everybody slept at the apartment we were going to stay at the night before so we could get up and go. And my buddy was like, why don't we just do this all the time? Like, this is so much fun.
Why don't we never grow up?
Why don't we? Yeah. Why don't we just do this next weekend?
Oh,
and
I see, I
we
see, I
drank
see.
for fucking 18 hours straight, and we were like dead the next day. And it was like, oh, this like
That's
we
why.
we can never do this ever again.
Yeah.
But the point is, these things have to happen naturally. Like, you can't just.
I know.
And I think also, when Barstool was a tight crew, you knew everybody. And whether or not you liked them, you like knew who they were, and you knew you could like trust them, and they knew what you could say and couldn't say. And now it's like you just can't recreate that. It's like there's too many people, and it's never gonna be what it was when it was a startup, basically.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that you can't try to make it into something new and different and better and somewhat similar.
Agreed.
But take a piece of that and put it into the new way, because I just think that there's too much it's just too much of a job now, where it's not like it used to be like a little culture, like a little
And it was like, it
ecosystem.
sounds so lame to say, but when it was like in HQ2 days, from my experience, like it felt like everyone had the common goal of like, hey, we're retweeting each other, we're supporting
Yeah.
each other,
Yeah.
we're trying to grow this as a brand. We have
None of that.
anymore.
That's what I think.
But we've talked
that
about that
I think
with
you
Hank,
can
though.
fix.
We've talked about that with Hank, where it was like, well, like, it's not really the same. But we talked about it with Hank, where like people who come in are like don't have that fire, where we're all rowing the boat in the same direction.
And, like-
that is definitively not happening anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that it is. There are parts where I completely understand it. There are parts, because if I was someone new, I'd be like, I don't need to fucking help them. They're fucking fine. Like,
Yeah.
And then, but then I also think there are parts where like new people are scared to ask, like,
Definitely.
to go on show.
There's no doubt in my mind that, like, and this is why I think it can be salvaged. Like, if I said, what I want to do with everybody is like have a system almost, where it's like, you go on my show, I go on your show, you retweet me, I retweet you. We all almost have like a schedule, because like if you think about, that's what we do for outsiders. They come in and they promote their show and their work, and we give them the cosign, and then fans go, oh, KFC Radio said it's cool, I'm gonna go watch it. Why the fuck don't we do that for each other? If our seal of approval means that much, and obviously there's some inherent like fakeness to it, where it's like, I'm having you on the show because you work for Barstool.
Yeah.
If you didn't, would I have you on the show? Would I like your shit? I don't know. So there's a little bit of like, yeah, it's because it's a company, but let's do that. And I think if you were to go to up to a new person and be like, if I help you, will you help me? They'd be like, absolutely. Oh my God, yes, I would love that. I didn't know I could. I didn't even know that was allowed. You know what I mean? Like, I got a text from Alex Bennett last night, and she said, Dave once said to me, I'll retweet anything you ask me to retweet. Is that true? And I said, I don't know, because I would never do that. Because if I did, he would say, oh, you need Daddy to come help you?
Yeah.
You need your shitty show to be saved by Daddy?
Yeah.
I literally said all that in the text. And I said, so I'm not sure how it applies to you. I bet he would, because he treats girls different than guys, and like, so he'll probably do it. But I just personally wouldn't do that, because I wouldn't want that on my like ledger,
Yeah.
And so I think she said like, okay, I won't do it. And so, but I just went and retweeted her shit,
You know what the key is? You don't put it in writing. I've never done that, but I know Dave says that. So the last time we were in London, I just a couple times I would just turn my phone and be like, throw that a retweet.
And he did it.
He did it every
Do you
time.
remember?
Oh, shit. He
Yeah.
does it.
Wait. What happened relatively recently? It was in this office where it was with you too.
With
You
me.
you and Dave, you guys were involved in something, and Dave like had to do something because he like
Oh, it was the My Mom's
cornered.
Basement thing, and there was something with Clem. It was Clem and Dave going back and forth on something.
and he like had to do it because
And
he
Clem
got
said,
like,
"How about you like throw us a retweet?" And he was like, "I can't do that out of like my
yes,
masculinity."
Yes,
essentially."
that's
yeah.
it. It was like you guys were butting heads.
Forget what it was. Something so stupid.
Yes, and it was very like
In jest, yeah.
inconsequential. But he said like,
Oh,
well,
it was the Thrones. It was him stealing the Game of Stools name. That's exactly
so
what
that
it
yeah, it was very recently
Yes.
because we had Game of Stools, and Dave came out with his own show called Game of Stools because he had no idea we were doing a Game of Stools podcast.
Typical.
And,
That was
and
like the biggest Game of Thrones podcast on the internet.
In the-
Other than the official Game
I
of
thought it was
Thrones
even bigger
one.
than that one.
Yeah, it was like in the early days it was like bigger than at HBO, you know. And Clem said, Dave said like I had no idea that was not like with malintent. Like we're gonna take ours and change our name. And
What
Clem
was
like,
Dave's show?
It was Millmore's show.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. No, I knew that.
And Clem was like that's the right thing to do, and also maybe you should throw a retweet. And he was like, I cannot, like I am contractually like I cannot.
Can't force my hand.
Yeah. And it was funny because it's like it is kind of like you can't do that. You can't do it that way. It does have to be somewhat natural.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like you can't be totally fake. It's like, you know, I wouldn't put like a athlete on My Mom's Basement, and you
Yeah.
know, it's like it's gotta jive.
It has to work, but yeah.
I think that there's when we did a little end of year meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and we did like a 1 minute thing where I just said like we want to help people get their shit going, you know. And like, how many times does people say shit at meetings and like whatever, you know? We had like many people come up to us
Yeah.
after us, text us after, being like, I
texted you guys
absolutely will.
after, like,
Yeah.
about, like, man on the street ideas or whatever. Like,
and it's
let's
like
do stuff.
people are eager, and there's just never been any system at Barstool,
Yeah.
you know. And I think that it's time to at least try that, you know. It will never be the same. There's no way that you can never get the type of content we got by manufacturing it.
Yeah, and our relationships with each other were new too. That was a big part of it. Was like everyone moving to the same place. Like you guys, even the bloggers that had been there, you knew each other through talking online.
We
seeing
probably hung
each other
out.
a couple
When I
years.
first moved here, we probably hung out 6 times.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
6 to 10.
Like
Like that.
Right.
that aspect of like you wanted to hang out with everyone.
Yes.
You didn't know them as
and
well.
you know what?
like-
I think
Maybe 10, 15.
I think,
Whatever.
I think Dave is lucky in the sense like he got lucky with the first people he hired, that like we were
Yeah.
good and we were like down for the cause, really not very selfish. Like we were like, yeah, Barstool, you know. Obviously nowadays a lot more people are out for themselves, you
Yeah.
know. But I understand why. It's like, you know,
It's a different company.
'Cause-
It's
and
the
then-
people that get hired now aren't the people that were like, I was grinding the rundown in 2013 in the bro show.
And yeah, so how
It's
could they
fine,
have
yeah,
the same,
like-
you know? And so, but I think there was the people who started, and they are deeply invested, either literally with equity or just like this was, you know, my goal. And then the first wave of hires were like diehard,
Yeah.
like grassroots fans. So they wanted to see it succeed. And then as that gets further and further from the core, it's like, oh yeah, I've heard of Barstool, the Instagram account.
Exactly.
I'd love to work for them.
Yeah.
That's very different than I used to read you guys every day, and now I'm working alongside you, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna bust my ass because
Way
you know.
different.
And so it's just
So
how
you can't
things go.
expect them to.
Dude,
yeah,
I-
it's like some people you just can't expect that out of them.
I like worked for Barstool before I worked for Barstool, in the sense that like I was a street team.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta read this. Like,
Right,
like,
right.
Spreading it to like anyone who would like hear me. I'd be like,
Right.
You gotta read this.
and
fucking shit.
that's something that is just natural and organic.
I used to
and
read
can't-
blogs out loud at lunch in high school. Like literally, we would sit down. Everyone knew I had the Barstool app. They'd be like, "What's funny today?" And I would
That's
just like
fucking
literally
amazing.
verbatim read blogs and have the table cracking up.
It's obviously I'm so old that I can't even fathom having. I can't having apps and websites and
It's like,
social
when you said you had
media.
the app at lunch. I was like, the what?
An app at lunch?
Bro, we used to print it out.
Yeah.
Like we.
I didn't. There was just nothing. It was. In high school, we just talked about like what was happening in front of us. I didn't. You know what I mean? Like that is crazy.
Actually, we had the. I so my buddy who got me into Barstool, lived in Boston. We went to school around, but he was a day student from north of Boston, and he would drive back.
You guys probably treated those guys like fucking lepers, right? Day student.
No, I was a day. We talked about. I was a day.
You were a day student?
Yeah.
Oh.
The J students are the fucking geniuses, bro. They're only like 10-day students.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we see
But
that.
he was Jamie Chisholm, who worked here
Yeah.
way back then. Jamie, I forget if it's his cousin or his uncle or family friend, whatever it is, but Jamie was a very good family friend of his. And so he would bring in the actual papers. And then we
nice.
like hide the papers in the library.
Jamie's
and,
awesome.
And then that's
I
how
think
we
I got Barstool banned from my high school. Like, you couldn't go on it at one point.
Because there was too many like hits, like the
and I was
firewall
like-
picked it up or whatever.
I didn't know anyone else that was going
Yeah.
on Barstool, and I was like, I think I got that. I actually got a great text from Dave yesterday.
Really?
Dave texted me, Clem, and Jeff D. Lowe in a group chat.
No, it's going to happen?
He said, let's make this Disney trip happen.
Dude, I was just going to ask about that. I thought that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
No way, bro.
So I think early March we're doing it.
So you're gonna go because this all stemmed from when he went and he didn't get to do the Star Wars stuff, right?
So
Because he went to the wrong
he
side of
went
the park.
to Disney, texted me. I went on the Star Wars ride. It was literally the greatest amusement park ride I've ever been on. Star Wars Land was amazing. And I said, did you go on the Millennium Falcon ride too? And he said immediately that was like, there was no Millennium Falcon. So no. And I was like, no. It's like when you walk into Star Wars Land.
It's right there.
The thing is the big life-size Millennium Falcon. Turns out the ride he went on is the one from the 90s. It's been there since the 90s. I went on it when I was 4. It's good. But you literally...
like a 40-year-old ride.
And the ride it's almost like the one you go on at the mall. Like the seat just moves while it's like
screen
things
moves?
from the movie.
And he
on
loved
screen.
that. He was like, it's the best ride
he was
ever.
blown away. He was like, I can't believe it
That's
was worth all. He
fucking-
literally said it was worth all the hype. Now there's a 20-minute ride in Star Wars Land where they like
Where you're, like, on an
take
actual
you through
spaceship.
the park.
Yeah.
There's stormtroopers running in like trying to get into your thing. Like that's what we're missing out on. So he's like Dave has been the main one texting the group chat over the past few months.
It's
like,
so
"Let's make
funny
this
what
happen."
he will like
Yeah.
latch onto. Like that could have easily been like Dave never talks about that again,
Right.
Or it could be something.
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was a dead dream.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yesterday, literally, I got the text. And of course, you get the text, but when I saw who it was with, I was like,
Oh, it's happening.
that's the gang. And I texted back, and this goes back to the fear. I love blogging when I'm at home for the day. I love blogging with movies on in the background. Like throwing a movie, one of my favorite movies, like never a movie I haven't seen. So I had A New Hope on. I was like, 2023 just started. Got to do my original trilogy watch every year, at least a couple times a month, right? So I go through. And I went to text back a picture like, oh my God, I'm literally watching A New Hope right now. But it was
Yeah.
11 a.m. on Monday. So I texted back a picture of me with my laptop in front of the screen and said, I'm literally watching A New Hope as I'm
While
writing
I
the blog.
blog.
And like, at this point, Dave don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But I still have that
in
fear.
the past, if you said that, it would have been a blog. Like,
Yes.
look at Bob. I watch movies at 11 a.m. on a Monday.
Right, yeah.
Fox.
Exactly. So
now,
it's like,
now it's Dave Chitlus's phone. He goes,
literally
bro,
a
in 2
selfie.
weeks, Penn cuts the checks. I don't give a shit.
so literally, it's a selfie of me in front of the TV screen with my laptop with a blog pulled up.
He was texting with him the other day. He goes, I got to get new pillows. I'm going to text Dave. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, yeah, remember when he did the unboxing? He was looking for the best pillow.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone sent him pillows. And I was like, there's no fucking way he's going to, like, engage with this. But then I remembered, like, Dave
Yeah.
loves that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'll tell you where the best pizza is. I'll tell you what the best pillow is. I'll tell you what the best watch is. I'll tell you what the maybe not the watch is.
Well.
I'll tell you know, like he is that, you know, so he fired off like 5 texts to Feidelberg. Like you like this, you like that. What do you
It was the I had actually told him when he was in Providence. I told him it was a pizza place. I didn't tell him directly. Actually no, that's crazy. When you guys were rough and rowdy in Providence, I texted Spider to text Austin to
text
tell
Dave.
Dave
'Cause if it came from you-
the pizza places in Boston.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Providence. I was like I got like 2 or 3 pizza places. One has been out. I don't think I saw the other one. The other one's brick coal fired pizza, which is fire too. But Pizza Marvin's also flames. He gave
I've
that
done-
one like an 8 point something.
People are
8.2,
from my
yeah.
hometown are like, you got to tell David come here. I'm like, if I do that, he's going to give you a 3.
That's why I texted Spider.
Even if it's fucking the best slice he's ever had, he's contractually
You
obligated.
gotta hire
to
a
say,
sleeper agent.
Yes,
Does Jersey
yeah.
Jerry have a
You
member
gotta-
of his army? Get in there.
You got to incept him to make him think that, you know, it's his idea. But it's very weird to think of like the version of Dave that I like started with. It's very strange. Like I never was like, he obviously, I thought of him like he was the best writer because I loved Barstool, you know, and I was like, so working for him was like, it was never my dream or anything, so it just happened. so I never like looked up to him or
Yeah.
anything like that. But it was, there's always that feeling of like you want the approval, and
Yeah, of
and
course.
he's like such an asshole about everything that if you do get any sign of good feedback, it like means so much.
But
But
I think we talked about with Hank. I was like, I think I have 3. Hank's like, I got 4, or whatever.
Yeah,
the numbers
yeah.
of the times where Dave went, good job.
Yeah,
Like,
right,
I
right.
I can tell you where I
and
was.
and it like it's like, what do we give a fuck? Like it's not, it's not your dad or anything like that. But there is, he did have that like that figure, like that imposing figure on you, where it's like it mattered that much. But to think, I saw a rundown. A clip from Mario posted everything on the Stay in Barstool, and it was Hank's Road to 200.
Oh, I watched
the blog.
that.
And it was Dave yelling at all you guys in the Milton office for eating salads and caring about what you look like.
Dave got so mad, dude. Dave,
He was like, "What the?" But I remember that I was like with him, being like,
Yeah.
because like that was Barstool. It was like,
Right.
we don't eat salads for lunch. We don't give a fuck about what our bodies look like. And now, if you fast forward to today, it's like sit up club with your
Hot boy
golden
walks.
cookie tan. Yeah,
It was the. It was fucking. It was only. It was like a month. It wasn't like a thing like. It
was just like leading up to the summer,
It was
like-
leading up to Fagawi.
Yeah.
So we were all in a house together for Fagawi. We were all like, we're gonna
Right.
get jacked up. It was like me,
Yeah.
Lou, Gaz, Hank,
Right.
whatever it was.
Right.
And that was Hank's Road 200 where he started drinking all the milk. He had the cum belly. And dude, I
and we said
mad.
just be like Bob.
I still vividly remember during the rundown. And it was like when I would only do the rundowns when Dave was
Yep.
gone, which was like 3 months a year. Like,
Yeah, you were like the host.
Yeah. Dave would go to Nantucket for like 3 months. It's like,
the
it's your
best.
site now. Okay.
Yeah.
But Hank took his shirt off, and it was just like this belly. The
cum belly.
It was just. I was like,
filled with
I was like,
milk.
you got to get on camera. You got to get on camera. But this is all to say that. So we're working out. We're doing 2 days at the gym because the gym was 3 doors down at the Milton office. The gym was right there. So we'd work out in the morning, come to work, leave at like 4, go work out, come back after workout again. And Dave had just done the Wicked Games video with what's her name?
Yeah.
The football player. The
no,
lingerie?
no.
Or no?
No.
It was was it Anastasia Ashley?
No, it wasn't.
No.
Anastasia. It was the same trip. He was out in California. It was the same trip as
Yeah.
Anastasia Ashley, but I forget who the chick's name was. We had her underpants hanging on the wall.
Yes.
I forget her name.
Nailed up on the wall.
But
Yeah.
Dave was like showing us the video, and and he's just so gross. And
So he was
like,
Dave was grotesque. He was unspeakably ugly back
candy
then.
picture?
When I mean the not even that. When he had the shaved head, like the really like no hair and the beak. I swear to
doing
God,
it
he got a nose
himself,
job.
right?
I swear to God, he got a nose job. One of those months that he disappeared to Nantucket, he had to get a nose job. The thing got smaller. Either his face got bigger or his nose got smaller. Something happened. It was around the Wicked Games. It's when he was wearing the pinny.
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
was. It was not great.
but he was like, I know the picture you're talking about where he had fucking toenails. Like he was in flip flops and his toenails were just claws.
It was just
like Triceratops
all around.
Velociraptor. Like
Because he had the pigeon toes, so it was like.
But he's showing the Wicked Games video, and he's like, look at that. He's like showing us like what he thinks was funny and stuff like that, and it was. He was right,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
And he's like, this. Do you think if you get in shape, you could do this video when it's funny? And he was right too. Like,
absolutely.
I think he also was showing like the Justin Bieber. Remember he did. It wasn't.
Sorry, he did the sorry video.
It was a sorry, but that like he was in a shirt.
He
So
did the
maybe-
magazine cover. With
Might have
the
been a
he-
magazine
yeah,
cover.
when he got all the tats.
And he's like, if you're in shape, do you think you can do this? And I was like,
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Like, it's not funny to do. But
like the fat guy is always the funny guy.
Right,
That
Like,
was
that's-
also on the flip side when I started covering MMA and people were like, get in shape so you could be taken seriously as the MMA guy. I was like, I think Barstool as a comedy site would benefit from the comedy of having
Yeah,
a
definitely.
fucking
Get
boy
in
made of
shape
pipe
so you can
cleaners as
cover-
the MMA guy.
Yeah, no, I mean that.
Although I just did an MMA video with Kayla Harrison, former Olympian gold medalist. She took me down immediately, fucked up my AC joint. I got to go to physical therapy. So maybe I should get in shape.
I'll tell you
yeah.
what. You know what you're not going to do?
Physical therapy.
I don't think I'm gonna do it. I know.
As someone who's been in physical therapy, I can guarantee you don't do
As
physical
someone
went
who
in high
ruined their
school, it
life
was
not
the
doing
worst.
physical therapy, you're not going to do physical therapy.
Yeah, no.
It is just, we've talked about this extensively, me and Ken, because we both had issues with shoulders where they're like, okay, so like for a half hour a day, just do like these workouts. And mine was like, I get on my knees and it's just like
roll it around in a circle.
Yeah.
Move like this. I'm like, I'm just
Roll-
not gonna do that.
Walk
That's
your fingers
crazy.
up the wall. Roll the ball. It's
Yeah.
like, this is not doing anything. It's like, yes, it is.
And I just keep signing up for videos where I get beat up by MMA fighters. And most recently, I just got an invite to a King 9 show. They're a hardcore band, and they would like me to come out and throw a fucking massive CRT TV into the mosh pit and then get in the pit with the maniacs.
That is, I
That's-
saw that blog. I saw that.
That's
saw you,
more
like,
dangerous
post it.
than you fighting the MMA
So
fighters.
dangerous. And I blogged about it because someone threw
You throw a
C-
TV at the people? Like,
so
you
no,
hit the people?
the pit, it kind of clears
Okay.
and you leave
I
a
was gonna
space
say.
for them to throw the TV. But this weekend there was a massive punk festival where they started picking up the big pieces of the TV and even a piece of a old
Huge
CRT
TV, yeah.
huge, and they started throwing it at each other. People were going
Madness.
down. It looked like bad news, and I wrote a blog about it. Got straight edge people furious with me. Like, I haven't pissed off people on Twitter like this
Yeah.
in
What
years.
was your take?
I had just, there was like a line in the blog where I said the guy who threw the TV was just completely lost in the sauce. And considering a lot of people at straight edge shows or at punk rock shows are straight edge, that sauce was just the music. And I said straight edge is when you don't have a girlfriend and you don't know anyone cool that could get you drugs. Like the most over the top, like
Yeah, yeah,
obviously I'm kidding. You
Right,
don't know
right,
anyone
right.
cool, like
Right.
But that got screenshotted by a record label and they put it out and like basically sent people at like the straight edgers after me, and all of them like, oh, have a joint, you know?
Yeah.
Have a sip
Well,
of a
that's
beer.
like
You'll
the
feel
dude,
a lot better.
the dude who did the Chris D'Elia documentary on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because D'Elia is famously like always telling people, I'm sober. I've never had a beer or like no drugs, no alcohol. And he goes, Chris, have a beer, man. Maybe that needs to be your vice
Loosen
instead of
up.
that one, you know?
Loosen up, man. But
I like the Twitter. I like when that happens now.
oh, I like it too. Like I
Used to give me a
I'll
little
show
anxiety.
my girlfriend the phone, and she'll have almost the like, oh, why are they saying that? And
Yeah,
I'm
you
like, no,
badass,
like
you
this is
badass.
funny.
Yeah.
And like the
when
tweet.
when I first did it, like when it first happened, I was excited because I was like, I'm like that means we're getting traction, like something's right. Then there was a middle period where I was like, this just gives me anxiety. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And now I'm back.
Now
where
it's
I'm like,
wrestling.
You probably got
now
pushed
you're like, oh,
it
I'm
was-
getting a response.
It was probably 1 Minute Man that got you like more used to it, because we kind of got it the other day with Andrew Tate, and I'm still in the anxiety phase. I was like,
yeah. No,
didn't-
I relish that one because those Tate guys are doing
Those,
exactly what we're fucking talking about.
right. They were like what like it happened with a few of them before I spoke up. But like a lot like someone was like, Andrew Tate made me a better man.
Oh my god.
But then like enough, like I clicked on enough profiles that I eventually quote tweeted someone and said it, where I was like, you can fucking bet your bottom dollar that when someone sends you a loser tweet, if you click on their profile, they have recently retweeted someone who's like, retweet for free money. Like, every
yes.
single fucking
Cash
time.
App.
Like,
Yeah.
like yeah, but yeah,
All
quote
of them.
tweet this with your Cash App, and like maybe I'll get
Yes.
you, maybe I'll give you $50. I'm like,
Every
Yo, that is
Yeah.
the most pathetic shit. in
That's
the
yeah,
world.
dude,
so
that's
true.
to hit your fucking monthly recurring while I'm Hustle University. But it was like, luckily I had like a busy day yesterday. Not really, but like I was doing things, so I wasn't on my phone that much. But every time I looked at my phone and had like,
That was a big
I just don't. I'm one of those weird people, one of those fucking bizarre folks who I prefer people to like me.
Yeah.
I don't like I don't like intentionally pissing people off.
Yeah.
I don't like trying to get fucking views that way. I don't know. I would
It's a
prefer
much
you
more
like me.
peaceful way to live. No,
and
no
there's
doubt about
levels
that.
to it too. I feel like when people are genuinely mad at something you said, it's one thing. When it's the straight edge joke, it was such a like,
Yeah, well,
oh my,
it's
the people
either-
that are
to
getting
me,
upset about this.
I get anxious if I've said something wrong or I like fucked up.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
if I've said something funny that I stand by or I know I'm right, like you are a loser if you
Yes.
pay Andrew Tate to teach you to be cool.
Right.
That is I can stand my ground on that and die on that hill happily.
Yeah.
Because you are a loser.
True,
Then
true.
and then I can stand my ground. I'm like, I did it with the Pope the other day. The Christians were coming at me. I'm like, the Pope is a bad dude who co-signed rape. I'm good, man. So then it's like, bring it on. It's when I've like, yeah, that joke didn't land, or like, oh, that fact was
Maybe I
completely
shouldn't have said
wrong.
that,
Like, like
yeah.
I got the facts on the story wrong. Then I'm like, oh, that gives me anxiety.
Yes.
But when you know you did something right, and it's just like, then it's like just dance.
Then,
dance,
exactly.
dance.
Then it's like you look through the replies and you're like, which one can I make the funniest
Yes.
joke out of?
Yeah. Who can I clown the hardest for
Yes.
sure?
You look at the profile pictures, you're like, who can I find who I could just put their profile picture as the response?
I
love
can't do
hitting
it with
those.
sports anymore. I told myself I'm not going to do it. I'm going to try this season with the Mets to not do what I did last year.
Good luck.
Because it was like, and I know I can't because it's like the thing that I'm still so passionate about. So if you're so stupid about it, I'll still call you out.
See,
but it's fighting the tides, man. There's no way to win it.
Your experience last year has kind of like really altered the way I even choose to do Twitter.
Yeah.
Because it is like it's the people who aren't following, which is most of the people.
I know.
And it skews how they think about things.
Yes.
Where I'm like, so just everyone hates the fucking Mets and they like despise the team and no one wants the Mets to be good. Like, why? I'm like, what does that mean? And they're like, oh, it's who Kevin quote tweets a lot. And even if that's not what the majority of Mets fans are, because there's no way it's what the majority of Mets fans think, that's what I think of when I think of Mets fans.
Right.
So, like, I've been doing that. I fucking slipped recently with, like, the Bruins, where someone was like, they're going to fall apart, which isn't even, like, a thing the Bruins do. It's not like a Lowell Bruins. Like, they always lose in the first round. That's not a thing.
Right.
And be like, this is the first round exit. Like, every time I tweet that the Bruins win, which is every other night, is they're on pace to have 140 points, which is the fucking NHL record by 8 points. Like, they've won 4 more games than the like, that's a huge number.
Yeah.
And every year, every fucking game, people are like, they can't keep this up. I'm like, you're right. They're getting better. They're winning. They're winning more games. They're winning a higher average.
Right.
And like I want to quote to an argument because I used to do it before even you, or I'm sure you've always done it.
You
But
did
like,
it with David Price
with
and
Tuukka, David
Grass,
Price
yeah.
was a big thing.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I think I was making people think that like most of the team, most of the fan base hates Tuukka. Or I was thinking people who aren't totally familiar. The
Right.
people who aren't
look at that
at
and
games
yeah.
go yelling.
So you're almost making it worse because you are propping up the people who are assholes.
Propping them up and also just like not convincing, but like when people who don't follow the sport as closely as I do think of the sport, they're thinking of it negatively.
That is the commenter effect too, where it's like I hate to even admit it, but when people are like comments don't matter, there was a time where you open up a blog and if the first couple comments are like fuck this guy, like a diehard fan is
Totally.
like if you liked me, you'd be like no, he's great, whatever. If you are a casual fan and you're like, oh, I want to get into Barstool, let me get the lay of the land, and that's what you see. That's what you see. That's
We
what you
talked
think,
about
you
that
know?
on my Behind the Blog because when it was like it felt like I was public enemy number one, I would say it wasn't that the comments were getting in my head. It was the messages from family members of like, why does everyone hate you?
Right, because
Dude,
then it's
that's
like,
what gets
But that's
in my
on
head.
them. I told people, I was like, stop
saying
fucking,
that.
either
Yeah.
stop reading it or stop talking to me about it because I don't give a fuck.
right.
And-
I'm doing a good job of keeping it away.
and
You're
it will,
bringing it in my
will
way.
affect me. So
Yeah.
fucking leave me alone.
And it's the fans who say like, I don't get all the hate. I love you, dude. It's like, I didn't need to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
didn't say that. We
All
always
the
say,
time, the
leave out the
backhanded,
first.
like-
The first part is leave it out. You
You know
know.
who I love who responds to people I see on Reddit, on Twitter all the time is Smitty gets that more than anybody. People are like, listen, I know Smitty's a schmuck and he's a loser and he's this, that, but he's a good guy. He's a common man. Smitty's like, you didn't have to say the
Just
first
say
part.
I'm a good guy. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's where I hate to admit that like tweets. It's more social media now. It used to be comments, whatever the form of feedback is, you know.
Yes.
And it does affect. It does have an effect.
And you know what's crazy? Even like this week, I got frustrated with the comment section because I blogged.
You're still
that-
reading it?
You know why I read it was because it was the CRT blog, the mosh pit. And the comments, every single one of them said, "You're such an idiot. That's not a TV. That's an amplifier. You should know this. You have music." So literally,
I mean,
I watched the clip. It's a TV.
What?
it's a TV. The band is literally now selling shirts of someone throwing a TV.
TV, yeah.
They invited me to their show to throw a
the
TV.
yeah.
Like this, it's
Not an
definitely
amplifier.
a TV.
Yeah.
And I responded to one. I said, "Let me just like a nice response.
Yeah.
Just
Actually,
here's
it's
a
TV.
clear video where you could see it's a TV."
Yeah.
And it just got like 17 down votes, no up votes. And I was like, all right, this is why I'm not like dealing with the comments anymore.
Bro, that is like a 10-year veteran
I
making
know.
a rookie mistake. Like, what are you doing?
I was just like these people, like I have 20 people saying it's unbelievable the like idiocy of Barstool bloggers sometimes.
Yeah.
That are wrong.
I know,
Right.
I know,
Like,
and that's
by
like I
all
said,
accounts.
when you're right and
Yes.
you know it, you want to.
Like I'm talking to people that were at the show that got hit with the TV.
It was a TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, my favorite blog commenter interaction was when the $100 million lawsuit one.
Yeah.
When I called that guy a pedophile, and and the first comment was like, "Good luck with the libel case, the slander case that's coming, the defamation suit, because like it 100% is defamation, and you're gonna lose." And I replied to that comment and said, "Shut up, pussy."
Shut up, you fucking pedophile.
I think that actually might have been what I said. I think I doubled down on it. And I mean, thank God that never.
He never got any money?
I don't think so.
He filed it like a day later, or no, he filed it the day before.
Yeah, it was classic, like, because Barstool is Barstool, and we like didn't. He didn't know what to sue. He sued BarstoolSports.com, but that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like, or he sued like Barstool LLC, and it's like you have to sue Barstool Sports. And because he's a little ambulance chaser, he likes to wait until the last
He's
possible
a little
second.
ambulance chaser who hates when Mesm sites call him a pedophile.
Fuck that guy.
Like, this fucking pussy won't let me call him a pedophile.
He waited to the literally 364 days. Like after a year goes by, you can't file a suit anymore. So he's filed it on the last day to be a dick. But that also left him no time to fix the error. Otherwise, we would have just been. I mean, I remember speaking to Dave, and he was just like, "Yeah, like I mean, he's right. Like we're gonna lose this lawsuit, and like we're done." And I was just like, "Sorry." I never felt so bad about something in my life. I was just like, I can't believe I did. Like I don't know, I ruined Barstool. Like that's it. Never felt a weight off my shoulders like that.
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
Oh, that how we had a bunch of shell companies is still so confusing to this
Purple
day.
Starfish,
Purple Starfish,
and all that.
LLC.
Yeah, Gaz is the owner of that.
Yeah.
Renee
When I go
owns
on
some.
our fucking back end, our like HR, whatever the fuck you call it, where like I have to get my W-2 or whatever I have to get, and it's like, which company do you work for now, currently? And it will list like 5 for me.
Really?
And it's like,
Oh, really?
Barstool Sports in one word. Barstool Sports. Purple Starfish. And I'm like, I don't fucking...
At that point, it's
and
a
the
multiple choice test.
There's like Barstool Sports, Inc.
All the
I'm
above.
like, that one's got punctuation. It must be that one. It's not that one anymore.
Have you ever seen on our website the organizational chart?
Oh yeah,
Throw me that pen.
it's like a complete family tree, right?
Yeah, but it goes like this. It goes like Dave,
Yep.
and then it goes, and it's the whole company.
Everyone
else is below Dave.
Which is so crazy, though, because there's clearly that's not what it is.
No.
There is,
But in a way, it is.
But it is like
yeah.
no
Content only.
huh?
for
But
content
I mean,
only,
even with
yeah.
content, that's all. It's like
but I think
it's basically
I think what you're saying is
you
the
and
opposite.
Dan,
I think
and
it's
then-
literally it is this where it's like practically it's not. But
Right,
I think
okay.
if you're
It's
I
like
think
Vince
director
McMahon.
of content or it's Vince McMahon.
Like,
It's like
he's at the
he
top,
is
even if it's not
Right.
in title,
Right,
whatever.
he is
like-
still,
Yeah.
but there's so many people now that you have to scroll, and there's just a million people under one. It's like, why even do this chart?
I also just got the yearly performance review email, which we get every year, and I've never had one. 6
Yeah,
years
me
at
neither.
Barstool. This year, though, I got it from someone that I didn't recognize the name, and it made me upset because I used to get like, "Za will be completing your performance review."
Oh, dude, I always got Za. And then, like, one time I had to do, I never did it, but like it ended up getting canceled. Like, I was supposed to do like Daniela's, which
Oh, you were giving the review.
yeah.
What
So-
would you say to Danielle?
I have no idea.
Keep booking flights at that point? Like, what was she doing?
No, because it was at this office.
Okay.
I got something
I
the
don't-
other day. I think I was I talking to you, and I said like I'm just gonna ignore that and pretend it didn't happen.
My performance review's tomorrow, so I'll let you guys know.
Are you gonna have it?
I don't know.
Is it in a conference room? Is it like a
No.
link?
I got an
if
email.
you go to that, I will fire you.
You'll disown me?
No, that is you do not go to that.
It's from someone, so I don't want to
Who?
leave someone.
Who?
I didn't recognize the name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't review you. They don't know
third,
you. You don't
fourth
know.
person.
You did not go to that.
See, I even,
That's the test. If
I know what that is.
what is it?
Nick says he knows what that
That's
is.
a company-wide, like, this is what performance reviews should be.
Like
It's teaching you what you can ask for.
so it's a lesson.
It's a
Oh.
lesson, but
It's not a one-on-one.
The entire company got it.
Okay, that's what I
Oh,
got.
there-
'Cause-
see, there we
okay,
go.
So
That
this
makes
is
way more
this
sense.
is an HR thing to say. Here's how to do a performance review.
I prepared a whole fucking thing to show in my performance review.
Are you kidding me?
I looked
Did
at
you
my
really?
analytics
You made
for
a
last
presentation?
year. Not a presentation, but like I wrote down how many blogs I had, my like intricate numbers on YouTube, how many videos published, how many were shorts, how many TikToks
Bob.
published.
You're
I
in
was
the
like-
comments and you're making PowerPoints. You're a made man, Bob.
I was like, ain't nobody sitting across from me in this performance review that doesn't know how much work I do, telling me to do more work. I fucking TikTok last year.
Bob, you are a made man. You don't need to do these things. That is the lesson. Like if you get a review at Barstool Sports, you're nobody. You know what I mean? But you got to sit down with somebody and they tell you something.
It's
you're
the
nobody.
fear. Again, it's like I was hired at a time where fear was instilled.
Yeah.
And it's going to stick with me. I talked to Clem about it. Clem
Yeah.
still has the fear.
Yeah, no, I
Where
mean,
I'm like, do you
even-
think any
We
hire
were
in
saying that
2022
also
has
recently.
fear here?
It's like it stems
it was
from
with,
Dave.
it was
but
the episode we did with like we were talking about like the whole like how someone will react now when like after the Rico stuff. It'll be like he doesn't fire anyone for anything. I don't fucking care about that. I was like, I still will be.
Right. Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
still be
New-
scared.
yes. New
but I can
people-
see how new people won't be.
new people will say, yeah, Dave doesn't fire anybody. He's a softie. But old people are like, no. Because you know what it is? It's like, you know what was worse than getting fired was like getting clowned.
Getting brought
you
on
know, like
radio.
getting called on the radio, getting called like lazy, like people
Nothing
thinking
worse than that.
Like the Barstool fans thinking that you were
Lazy,
bad
or-
is
yeah.
like was way worse than losing your job at Barstool.
Yes.
You know, and
I
for
rem-
better or worse.
I remember asking Dave that once. I was like, "Can we just like sometimes do things in house?" He's like, "Get the fuck out of my office."
Yeah.
It was back in Milton, obviously.
Yeah,
so it wasn't. I mean, it was his office, but there was no door. It
I was trying to pinpoint because you had like moments like that where you were like you asked and had an interaction, like our relationship, and it was kind of like a three-way thing with Dan. I guess I can't speak for Dan, but I know that like it just devolved over the time on the rundown. There was never a
Yeah.
moment where I was like, "Hey man, can we just like relax a little bit with this or that, or like how about we do it this way so that it doesn't drive me crazy?" You know, it was just like Deflategate. I think just killed us. And then it was like by the end of Deflategate, we were just like enemies. You know,
Yep.
and then it was I would never even dream to ask like, "Hey, can we do things differently?" Because it was like, well,
I
fuck
know,
you,
yeah.
you know. But he said he hated radio. I there were times where that radio show was like a grind,
Yeah.
where we were like really going at it. But for the most part, I thought it was like a good radio
The good
show.
days
So
were
I was
so good.
Yeah, and he was like, I hated every moment of it because it was like so. But I almost wore that as like a badge of honor because he was like, it was so taxing. It was like we disagreed on everything. We were always fighting, and I was like, fuck yeah, we were. But I could see him being like not liking that. Whereas I grew up on like sports radio, and that sort of like confrontation is good.
Then
So
Mike
I
and
was
the
like,
Mad
we were
Dog,
putting out.
like-
Yeah, it's like it was almost like I know it was a struggle, but we were putting out like classic content, so I was
Yes.
okay with it. Whereas he's like, I don't give a fuck, you know.
Like
what I mean?
look at the clips that come from that office and the clips that come from this office and just the serious.
Yeah,
Serious
right,
alone. Like,
right.
The old days like have 1,000 clips
Yeah.
where it's like
Yeah, I mean,
in
the-
the shittiest office, like the walls falling apart too. Like we would bring like
the shitty
Kevin
stuff
Hart
that
in
we
there.
thought were like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yo, the initial like studios at the old office, I was like, I finally have my own home to record in. It was like, what was it called? Adam Pally called it a white person's trap house.
Yeah.
Said it looks like the inside of a lit cigarette.
Yes. Yeah, that's accurate.
But I do think there's hope. I think that there is.
I think, and if I could toot our own horns a bit, I guess, I think that that was the problem. And that became the problem, where it was like, if you're gonna go on someone's show, it's because you're in trouble.
Yes.
Where like,
Yes.
is
Or
it
you're
Dave was
fighting,
gonna yell
or
at you,
you're- yes.
or the yak was gonna haze you.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like I think we
Just
kind
come
of
and hang out.
I think we kind of just be like, and those are all different kinds of obviously successful and great content.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think ours is more just like
That's what it is.
Like it's just chilling.
You
We're hanging
can't
out.
you can't question Dave's approach because it got $500 million. But I'm always like, what if a tweak here and there got us a full billion?
Yes.
Like just because this succeeded doesn't mean that this other thing couldn't have made it that much
What
better.
if Dave started the Dave Portnoy show when you first told him to podcast? Like
I mean, there's
what
a
if?
million
What
ifs.
if?
There's
You
a
know,
mil-
like
yeah.
those are out
right.
there.
Like if he took he would have like a Joe Rogan type show if he podcasted
Probably,
that
yeah.
way, But I think that there's also just like little things that like Dave was never going to run an office that like where people are cool with each other. And I think you can have that. I think you can have like music playing and people relaxing and having fun with each other, and you do these little things that are probably a little bit corny and like not so natural, but
that
makes
was
this
what we did
atmosphere.
in HQ too. We did Aloha Fridays.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
wore Hawaiian
Yeah.
shirts
I
to
was
work
gonna
on
say
Fridays.
like little things
little
like that.
fun,
that
stupid shit like
they used
that.
to do
Like,
Jersey
was
and all that
legit,
shit.
like,
But then
fun.
also,
We
but you
had
know
fun
what the
with
problem
it.
with that is? We were still small enough. Now it's corporate.
Yeah.
Because we're too big now.
Yeah, you're
Right.
right.
Right? If you do
Like-
Aloha
like-
Fridays now, it's a corporate thing.
If we did some sort of like you guys
Also, we just drank all day.
I was gonna say,
Like,
Dan
we
was
started
passing-
drinking at 10 a.m.
Dan was passing drinks to everyone in the office from his desk too. It was like it's not a big office. Like it was. We were so on top of each other. He was like, "Hey, the 12 people that work here, I made you all drinks."
Yeah.
Like,
But you know what is funny? You guys did a weight loss challenge, and it was like the best piece of content ever. When HR said like, let's do a steps competition, we're like, this shit sucks. Fuck this,
Bro, I mean,
You know?
it's a perfect. It's
fuck you
the
for emailing
it's the
us.
exact like
It's
yeah.
you either die a hero or live long as a villain. Like
Right.
that stuff is fun in a small environment.
But
when
I
you're making
think-
people do it, it's corporate.
I think there's like a middle ground where it's like we're not gonna make you do this. We're not gonna put HR all over it. It's just like this is a place to hang out and like have some fun.
I think
It is such a-
Chicago opening is going to help that for us. The New York office. I think it's going to give the New York office like almost the old school Chicago vibe of
Yeah.
like we're the like island over here doing
Right.
entertainment, doing that fun
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
Like gambling's over there, and Dave's doing that, and
Exactly.
then we're almost the
this
misfits
could be
here.
the tight knit misfits,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
who
I also
actually
think-
have group content and stuff like that.
I think we can just revive the fuck out of the rundown.
Oh
The
my
rundown
God,
has
yeah.
really slipped like so hard. If we just like put an ounce of effort into that,
Yeah.
and turn that back into like a daily show that everyone looks forward to, like that alone would raise spirits,
Yeah.
you know. So I think a lot of good things are yet to come, and I think you're going to be a very big part of it, Bob.
I hope so, yeah.
Like I said, made man. Stop going in the
I don't know about
comments
made
and
man.
making presentations.
Made man seems like a bit much. I'm still
You're-
getting the
you're-
threshold
Bro, you
emails
go
every
to-
week.
you're
like,
a
threatening me.
made man.
You go to London with Dave. You're
You're
all
a
set.
made man. You're going to fucking Star Wars with Dave. You're a made man.
I can't
You
wait.
think Dave would go to a fucking a trip to Disney with someone who's not a made man?
By the way, I almost didn't send the picture of me. I almost sent the South Park picture of me with cum all over myself. And I was like, let me keep it classy.
This is a business tag.
Come on, it's my boss. It's my boss.
yeah.
All right, so everybody go watch Bob. I know you had like your biggest year yet in millions of views on My Mom's
Yeah,
Basement,
mine
right?
was a 7.2 according to the spreadsheet
That's
I just
fucking-
made for my end of year review.
7.2. Unbelievable.
Yeah, go subscribe to the channel.
That is so funny. You made a fucking analytics. I love it.
Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be fast, so that's it.